Friends, good morning. Good morning. It's great to be with you this morning. The roads must be clearing up a little bit. We've got a bigger crowd than we've had the last couple of masses. So I was so worried last night, the 4 o'clock crew, everyone's rolling in. I'm like, just stay home, come tomorrow. It was amazing though. People still showed up. That's why you're called the faithful, right? That's why. So here we are, third Sunday of Advent, Gaudete Sunday, and I think it's probably important that we just get the obvious out of the way here at the outset. I look excellent in pink. I think we can all agree. Yeah, but now we can move on to the homily. So, third Sunday of Advent, Gaudete Sunday, right from the Latin word that's beginning the entrance antiphon of this Mass, Gaudete, rejoice, right? Rejoice, Jerusalem. I say it again, rejoice. So on this third Sunday, the church is inviting us to have this experience of joy, right? To have this experience of joy that flows from a renewal of our hope. That's what I want to talk about this morning. I want to talk about hope as the source of joy, right? But hope is a fragile, fragile thing. Hope is a fragile, fragile thing. I want to ask this question. Have you ever been in your life, in your story, in your own experience, have you ever been afraid to get your hopes up? Like, have you been counseled by your own experience or even by like the people around you, friends, family members, whoever it is? Have you been counseled by people around you or your own heart telling you, hedge your bets, don't get too excited, calm down, don't get your hopes up. It's probably not going to pan out the way that you think. It's probably not going to pan out the way that you think. There is such a deep fear that we carry, a deep fear of like the pain associated with disappointment. Hope, it brings your heart up to the surface and brings your heart out onto the ledge. And then there's the fear of what happens if it all falls apart. There are just things in your life and my life, in your heart and my heart, that are just they just run so deep that you almost never speak them aloud. They're so fragile. They're so fragile, these hopes, these dreams, these desires. Gosh, in so many of the conversations I've had with folks in the last couple weeks, this is just the recurring theme. So many people so afraid to get their hopes up, right? These biopsy results that we're waiting on, just afraid to get my hopes up. The job that I just interviewed, afraid to get my hopes up for that. The thought of having a normal, peaceful Christmas with my family, everyone coming back in from town. I don't want to get my hopes up, or that my kids will come back to church, or that my grandkids will get baptized. Or so many of you, I've heard this such a sad recurring theme, how many folks have experienced this sort of divorce from their own children. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up that maybe this is going to be the Christmas where my kids call me, my adult children call me. So much pain. I'm afraid to get my hopes up that this might be my last Christmas alone, that I might find somebody next year, or that this is going to be the month that we finally see those 2 blue lines showing up on the pregnancy test, or that person that you once had a beautiful relationship with, that everything fell apart, that you have any hope of reconciling. I don't want to get my hopes up that anything could be restored. If you've ever felt anything like that, so afraid to get your hopes up, if you've ever felt anything like that, you know something of what was in the heart of John the Baptist as he was sitting in that squalid prison cell in Herod's jail waiting his execution. Right? John, in so much vulnerability, he brings up to the surface this question with such fragile desperation, this sort of Hail Mary kind of hope. He gives this question to his own disciples and he sends them to Jesus. He says, I want you to ask him, are you the one? Or should we look for another? Like, it's not arrogant, it's not bombastic, it's not rude, it's none of those things. It is desperate, it's fragile, it's like, I don't want to be wrong about this. Are you the one? Or should we look for another? There is something so fragile in this question. But John had such immense courage to bring it up to the surface and to let it be known. We live in a world of such immense disappointment. So often things let us down and people let us down. Confidences, trust gets broken. People who are supposed to know us and love us, they fail us. People who are supposed to protect us fail us. Institutions that are supposed to radiate God's mercy and his love and goodness, those institutions get obfuscated through the brokenness of sinners. Oftentimes it's not the good guys who win. Oftentimes it is those who are playing corrupt games who finish first. Like, we guard ourselves, we guard against being let down, about being hurt, being disappointed. And all of us, like me included, we're like this crowd who went out to see John. Something gets awoken in us. Something gets awoken in us. Maybe we're not even sure why we're here this morning, but it's like we're all here taking this immense risk to look at Jesus and to ask him John's question, are you the one? Is it really you? Are you the one, or should we look for another? Because, Lord, I need you to be the one. Are you the one who is promised by the prophets? Are you really him? Are you the one who's not going to disappoint me? The one who is capable of turning the parched desert of my life and experience into, like, beauty, into gardens, into life? Notice how Jesus responds to that question. He doesn't look at them like, are you the one? He doesn't say, yep. You got it. Now he says, look around. Look around. What do you see? What do you hear? Maybe you're sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm looking around. I don't know. Jesus, I don't know if I see anything. Here's what I've seen. Here's what I've heard. Here's what I've experienced. Not because I'm special, it's just, this is my testimony. I've seen people who are scheduled for knee replacement surgery, total knee replacement surgery. I've seen them totally miraculously healed. Surgeries canceled. I've seen broken bones healed before my very eyes. Like, I know the names and faces. I know the face of a little girl who at 2 years old drowned and died and didn't have a heartbeat for 40 minutes. And she was miraculously brought to life, and she's doing great today. I know a little boy who was stillborn, and then yet somehow miraculously a pulse came back, and they thought he's never going to leave the hospital. And now he's running around with his little brother and awaiting his twin siblings who are due in just a few months. I've seen it. But, like, as amazing as those miracles are, the more amazing miracles, like, I've seen those who couldn't even comprehend or grasp or believe in their own beauty or dignity or worth. I've seen them come to believe that I'm a beloved son, I'm a beloved daughter of the Most High King. I have worth independent of anything I do or achieve. I've seen people who've been so crippled by fear, bent over, unable to stand, paralyzed by shame and regret. I've seen them stand up straight again and dance in the mercy of the Lord's love. I've seen those whose hearts have been crippled with leprosy, just riddled and broken, restored to a newness of life as they shed their walking death and they just live now in the freedom of God's sons and daughters. I've seen it. I've seen dead things come back to life, dead marriages and dead vocations, dead priesthoods, dead parishes. Like, Lazarus is walking around us. He's alive and well. The tombs are empty. I've seen it. Friends, today the church invites us into this very scary, very nerve-wracking posture called hope, and to rejoice. Because the one who is promised, the one who did come 2,000 years ago, he's not just Emmanuel once upon a time, he is Emmanuel now. The one who is the fulfillment, he is here, he is now, the one our hearts are all looking for, he is here, the one who turns deserts into gardens. This is why we have the courage to hope. And notice, right, as we light these flames of this Advent wreath, this third candle, this candle of joy and hope, notice that this flickering flame, it's not this raging inferno. It's not this massive, 100 million candle power flashlight. It's one very fragile flame. That's hope. It's incredibly fragile. But it's all we got in this dark world. Friends, I know there are parts of your hearts and parts of your lives that have been just shut down because I'm so afraid to hope. I'm begging you, Jesus is begging you to push your chips in, all in on him today. To have the courage to hope. And it's okay if it's just a tiny flickering flame. It doesn't have to be huge. But let it burn. Lord, renew us in hope today. Amen.